Hey guys, welcome back to the VHS Revolution show, and this is a little bonus episode. Mike Klemak and I last week did a rewind on David Fincher's movie Seven. When we recorded at the end, we did our top 5 favorite David Fincher movies, but the episode was going to be too long, including that at the end, so I thought I would separate it and give it its own little episode here. So that's what this is. This is Mike and I giving our top 5 David Fincher films. And when I get to 7 and I say, well, I talked all about 7, or I said everything I wanted to say already, it's because I talked about it for an hour in our episode. So when we talk briefly about 7, you can actually refer back to our rewind episode to hear all of our thoughts about it. Anyway, here's our top 5 David Fincher movies. So let's get to our top 5 David Fincher movies.
Alrighty.
So what's your number 5?
Number 5, I'm going to put Gone Girl.
Okay.
I never read the book. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, me neither.
And that movie smacked me in the face when the turn happened. Kind of like 7.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, what? And that's why I think it needs to have that spot. And it doesn't detract from the ones that don't make it in my top 5. It's just, I'm just coming from a personal experience standpoint.
Yeah, I think Gone Girl is great. It's probably the one good movie of his that I have seen the least. So I always kind of underrate it.
Yeah, I've only seen it like once, maybe twice.
Yeah. That performance by Rosamund Pike is insane.
Yeah.
My number 5 is The Game, which I kind of went back and forth. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a movie that I thought was just kind of okay when I first saw it, but over the years, it's become something that has really grown on me. And so I considered putting it at number 5, but The Game is just something that, even though it's kind of ridiculous and doesn't totally add up, it's a movie that for me just kind of wins me over on tone and execution.
Well, funny enough, The Game is my number 4.
Oh, funny.
When it came out, I think I was in like peak, like cinephile, voracious movie eater mode of like teenage years. And it was just so fucking cool.
It is.
And again, you're like, where does this come from? Michael Douglas and Sean Penn are amazing. Yeah. And you don't know where it's going to go. And then that last scene, you go like, oh my God. It's like, again, it's like the rug gets pulled out from under you and then it's done. And you're like, okay. Yeah.
I should say that my top 4 kind of always kind of move and change around. But for now, number 4 is Fight Club.
Okay.
Really for no reason other than I just saw 7, so 7 is a little bit higher. Fincher has made a bunch of movies that should not work. They should not work at all. Fight Club is easily one of those movies where anything could have happened and the movie could have fallen apart or not worked at all. But it's like another combination of writing, music, visuals, editing, performance that's got this incredibly iconic performance from Brad Pitt as Tyler Durden and Edward Norton. I mean, it's just a great movie top to bottom. It's just, I like 3 of his other movies more right now.
So number 3 for me is the shirt that you're wearing. Social Network. Yeah. Obviously, it's Aaron Sorkin. So the writing, the storytelling, and this is a dialogue-centric movie. If someone came to you and said, we want to do a movie about Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, I would have said, okay, what else is it about? Because you've just told me the movie. Like, he founded Facebook. And Sorkin and Fincher do an amazing job. And then Jesse Eisenberg and
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield and all of them do a fantastic job bringing it to life. Like you said, these movies shouldn't have worked.
Totally.
They just keep surprising us. And, you give Fincher a movie, you're going to be happily surprised with the result.
My number 3 is 7. We've talked a lot about 7. I think 7 is a masterpiece and incredible and amazing, and it's number 3. What's your number 2?
Nice. My number 2 is Fight Club. I remember, so I was in first year university, and I remember taking the bus downtown in Victoria with my roommate Alan, and we went and saw the movie. And so the movie ended, and the Dust Brothers score is just like ripping along, and the credits going. And he and I both sat there until the credits ended. And I looked at him. I went, what? And we spent the entire bus ride and walk back to our basement suite just talking nonstop, just dissecting it and understanding it and trying to figure out what the fuck we just experienced. Because that's what it was. It wasn't just a viewing of something. It was an experience. Absolutely. And I can still viscerally remember that entire night.
And it also came out in 99 along with The Insider and Talented Mr. Ripley and Being John Malkovich and The Matrix and The Sixth Sense, literally like all these incredible, iconic movies. So that's a good choice. Yeah. My number 2 is The Social Network, which, as you said, is great. And I think it's Aaron Sorkin's best script. I mean, he's written scripts for The American President and A Few Good Men. He wrote on Moneyball, and he's written some scripts that are great for some great movies. But The Social Network is just perfect. Mm-hmm. It's just the perfect use of his talent and storytelling ability. And Jesse Eisenberg is incredible. It's easily Justin Timberlake's best performance.
Oh, yeah.
In fact,
so good.
It almost makes me annoyed that other filmmakers haven't been able to tap into what Fincher did with Timberlake in that movie. You know, Rooney Mara is great, Andrew Garfield, just the storytelling. Like you said, the dialogue is great, but the storytelling and the way that the script is written, intercutting this court proceeding, kind of telling the story with the actual events of Zuckerberg creating Facebook. And really it's about these people as they form these allegiances and then kind of backstab each other. And
also Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross's score.
Incredible score, which I listen to all the time. Just everything about it is really perfect. You know, these top 4 movies are literally perfect from top to bottom. What's your number 1?
It's 7. I think I know what your number 1 is now just by process of elimination. Yeah. But again, we've talked about it, but the reason why it's number 1 for me is because for me, as I said at the very beginning, this is the movie I always want to write. Yeah. This is the movie that, like all of these movies in your top 4 that you said, is perfect top to bottom. But there's a reason why I've only seen Social Network a couple of times. I've seen The Game a couple of times. I've seen Fight Club probably like 10 times, but I've seen Seven like 20 some odd times. Yeah. Like I've really watched the shit out of this movie. Yeah. It never ages. It never loses its impact. It never feels rote or like it's been played out. No matter how many times I watch it and can like say the dialogue along with it, it's just always perfect. And it's one of those few movies, because I don't like to hand out the perfect title to many movies. To me, it's untouchable in its perfection.
My number 1 is Zodiac.
Knew it.
There's nothing about Zodiac that should work. It's got 3 main characters, 3 different storylines. Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., and Jake Gyllenhaal. And they sometimes intersect and sometimes they don't. And it's a movie kind of like Seven in the way that it's about a serial killer where the good guys don't win in the end. And it happens
they don't catch 'em.
In a totally different way. It's much more of a movie about investigation and journalism and process. But it's also creepy. It's also kind of a horror movie at times. I'm thinking of the scene where Jake Gyllenhaal goes to Charles Fleischer's house. Charles Fleischer is the poster designer for these for this movie theater, and Jake Gyllenhaal discovers that maybe this guy who he thought he was just getting information from is actually maybe not who he says he is. And it's this creepy moment where he goes down to the guy's basement and then freaks out and runs away. But I just love the storytelling. It's Downey just before Marvel, where he's not playing Tony Stark in every performance. He's really great. It's one of my favorite Ruffalo performances, and Gyllenhaal is great.
Also, John Carroll Lynch.
John Carroll Lynch is incredible as
so good.
Arthur Lee Allen. There's just tons of great actors. Dermot Mulroney, Anthony Edwards, all these great character actors show up in the film. For me, I love movies about process and investigation.
Yeah.
All the President's Men is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a movie that I come back to all the time and that just holds my attention. And for that reason, it's my number one.
The only reason I think it's not my number one is because I've only seen it one time.
Oh.
And I know, having listened to other movie podcasts that have talked about Zodiac, that have stated it gets better the more you watch it.
It does.
And so it's on my list to watch again. And I'm certain that the more I watch it, the higher it would climb in my top 5. But that was one of the ones I was battling with.
I mean, I was on a plane ride, a 16-hour plane ride coming back from Bali, and I just wanted something to be on the screen. And so I started playing Zodiac, and I ended up watching the whole thing.
Of course. Yeah.
Again. There were hundreds of movies I could have watched. But I watched that again. I love it so much. The one thing that I wanted to shout out, which isn't a movie, I debated putting it at number 5, but I decided not to and just keep it to films, is the show Mindhunter.
Of course. Of course. It has to be mentioned. It has to be.
It's so great. It's literally, for me, it's one of the best TV shows ever made.
Now, I've never watched House of Cards. I know that Fincher was involved with it. I know that him doing that changed the face of television.
Definitely.
Especially streaming, being through Netflix. I know it changed the game. I never watched it.
Yeah, me neither.
And I don't know if I ever will.
Yeah.
But I watched Mindhunter, and every single episode was a 10.
Yeah.
I didn't know how he did it.
Yeah.
I was like, how? Like, there has to be a lull in just how great this series can be. It never was.
Yeah. And he didn't even direct. He didn't even direct all the episodes.
No, he didn't.
But it has his imprint in every episode, every moment.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Between those 3 actors' performances, Anna Torv, Holt McNally, and Jonathan Groff are just killing it in every scene. Yeah. And so, yes, it bears mentioning because it's so amazing.
And again, the fact that season 2 ends with them not having caught this killer again, like, it's kind of a Fincher thing, but it
felt very Zodiac-esque.
Yeah. It's just an amazing show. Okay, that was our top 5 David Fincher movies. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually kind of like doing those rankings. I think I'd like to do more. Coming up soon in a couple weeks, I'm doing another watch along to Back to the Future. So stay tuned for that. Should be really fun. And I'll see you next time.